Okay, so let's start our lesson. How are you guys?
Good.
Okay, how was your day?
Normal.
Okay, what about you girls? Normal. Okay, fine, yeah. Okay, great. Now let's start working with the sentences first. How do you say полностью?
Complete.
Полный.
Complete.
As a verb, this also to complete, yeah. Забронировать. To book. Сдать экзамен. Продать.
Sell.
Okay, ломать.
Broke.
Okay. Осторожный.
Careful.
Careful. Возможно.
Possible.
Возможность, вероятность. Possibility. Yeah. Если возможно.
Possible.
If possible. Okay, great. Now let's start. Anna, the first one. After.
After he had gone to bed, let's say he wrote message.
After he had. Could you please repeat, please?
He went to sleep after he had written essay.
Written an essay, yeah? He went to bed. Okay, Layla.
Когда я пришла, они уже уснули. When I came home, they were sleeping. Wait.
Okay.
They
Уже уснули.
had fallen asleep.
Yes, great.
Ты сделала домашнее задание полностью. Have you done the home test completely?
Okay, Anna.
Когда он звонил мне, я приготовлю ужин. When he calls me, I will have cooked dinner.
Great.
Так, он не знал, что я забронировал столик. He didn't know that I had booked the thing.
Great.
Ты уже ушел домой, когда я пришел на вечеринку. Had you gone home when I arrived at this party?
Yeah.
Она была в печали, она не звала к нам, and she wasn't
She was sad.
sad. She hadn't asked them.
Perfect.
Я не закончу отчет завтра к 6 часам. 6 часам. I will have not done my report tomorrow by 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Она продала телефон после того, как сломала его. Did she sell the phone after she had broken it?
Great.
Что твоя сестра только что приготовила? What your sister, what?
Только что.
Was
Present perfect.
what has your sister cooked?
Just cooked. Yeah. The first one.
Он пошел спать после того, как написал эссе. He went to bed after he had written an essay.
Когда я пришла, они уже уснули. When I came, they had already fallen asleep.
Ты сделала домашнее задание полностью. Тут же no more remarks.
So this is present perfect. Yeah.
Have you done your homework?
Okay. Layla.
Когда он позвонит тебе, я приготовлю ужин. When he calls you, I will have cooked the dinner.
Okay.
Он не знал, что я забронировал столик. He didn't know that I had booked the table.
Ты уже ушел домой, когда я пришел на вечеринку. Did you went home when I... Did you already Have you already went?
Past perfect. And
Gone.
had you
Have
already?
you already gone home when I came to the road?
That's right. Next.
Она была в печали, она не сдала экзамен. She was sad. She didn't pass the exam.
Я не,
She
Hadn't passed.
hadn't passed. Okay. One.
я не закончу отчет завтра к 6 часам. I won't have finished the report tomorrow by 6 o'clock.
Она подала телефон, просто собак сломала, what did she sell phone after that he had broken it?
Что твоя сестра только что приготовила? What has your sister just cooked?
Okay. So is everything clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. May you use your phone for stopwatch? Do you have stopwatch on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let's translate on time. One. Okay, let's do it. Ready to start?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go.
He went to the bed after he had written the essay. When I came, they had already fallen asleep. Have you done the home task completely? When he calls me, I will have cooked the dinner. He didn't know that I had booked the table. Had you gone home when I arrived at the party? She was sad. She hadn't passed the exam. I won't have finished the report tomorrow by 6 o'clock. Did she sell the phone after she had broken it? What has your sister just cooked?
Okay, perfect. Your time is 27. Great job. Okay, now, so our next topic is the text. Please open your copy books. The text is called Titanic. Titanic. Of course, we all know the largest ship, yeah?
Yes.
Titanic disaster, yeah? Okay, so, so let's write, we're going to take the first part today. Secondary words. How do you say ударить? Hit. Тонуть.
Sing drown.
To sink, to drown. What is the difference, Leila?
This thing is to ships and boats, and to drown for animals and people.
Very good. Okay, спасать.
Rescue.
Выживший.
Savior.
Выживший.
Survivor.
Survivor. Выживать. Выжить.
Survive.
To survive. Okay. Спасательная шлюпка.
Lifeboat.
Okay. Let's write the name of the ships. Here we have the Carpathia ship. Корабль Карпатия. The Californian ship. The Californian ship. Carpathia ship, the Californian ship. В километрах от.
Kilometers away from.
Kilometers away from. Okay. Next. Here there are a lot of numbers. I will write on the board. Okay. Numbers. Mm-hmm. 2,207, 1,178, 650, 705, 1,502 passengers. Okay, so okay, so I think we have written all the words in it. So listen to the text, the first part, listen to carefully. In 1912, the Titanic sank 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. At that time, the Titanic was the largest ship that had ever traveled on the sea. It was carrying 2,207 people, and it had taken on enough lifeboats for 1,178 people. When the passengers were trying to leave the ship, only 650 of them were able to get into the lifeboats. The Carpathia ship was 58 kilometers away from Titanic when the Titanic called on its radio for help. It arrived 2 hours after the great ship had sunk, but it saved 705 people. And some of the survivors had been in the icy water for many hours before the Carpathia saved them. Carpathia couldn't save all people. Unfortunately, 1,502 people had lost their lives. The Californian ship was only 10 kilometers away from Titanic. And the Californian ship didn't understand the situation. They came too late, and they didn't come to rescue passengers until too late. When the Californian ship came, all the remaining passengers had drowned. So, is it clear? Yeah, guys? So let's write here to remain, оставаться. Оставаться. To remain, оставаться. And Californian ship's officers were close to see the Titanic, but they didn't come to rescue people. So we will discuss it after the recording. Okay, to remain, оставаться. Have you understood the text? Yeah, let's try to translate first, yeah, into Russian. Layla, could you please start? In 1912 the Titanic sank.
В 1912 году Титаник утонул. Так, это было самое...
4 часа спустя.
Я прослушала этот момент. Это Титаник утонул в 1912 году после 4 часов. Подождите, после того, как Титаник ударился об айсберг, после 4 часа спустя он утонул. Это был самый большой корабль, который люди знали в то время. На Титанике находилось 2207 человек, но пока на Титанике находилось 650 лодок. Нет, 650 лодок, которые были только для 1178 людей. И получается, после того, как Титаник начал тонуть, Корабль «Карпатия» был в 50 километрах, 58 километрах от этого, от «Титаника», и после 2 часов они приплыли туда спасать людей. 705 человек были спасены «Карпатией», в то время как 1502 человека, к сожалению, погибли в холодной воде. Также калифорнийский корабль находился в 10 километрах от «Титаника», но он не понял. No?
Yes, its officers were close to see the Titanic.
Капитан был близок, чтобы увидеть «Титаник», но они не приплыли туда спасать людей.
Who remembers?
Они не понимали всю опасность в этой ситуации.
Yes, okay. And they never received Titanic's call.
And
Когда? Не получали?
Звоночек.
Да, звонок от Титаника for help. На помощь, да? Okay. Yes. Who remembers? All the remaining
people,
passengers.
all remaining, оставшиеся пассажиры, которые были не спасены, 1500 человек, они утонули в холодной воде.
Когда калифорнийский корабль приплыл, да? Все пассажиры уже утонули. Okay, great. So, have you understood it in Russian? Yeah? Let's try to retell in English. So, Ayana, let's start.
Titanic. In 1912, Titanic was sunk. It sank. It hit iceberg, and after 4 hours, it sank. So, Titanic was the largest ship in that time. On his first trip through Atlantic Ocean, it had sunk. There was 2,207 people, but Titanic Ocean keeps only 650 lifeboats that were only for 1,178 people.
Alan, please continue.
At this moment, the Titanic had sunk, and the Carpathia ship was 58 kilometers away from Titanic, and so Titanic called for help on the radio, and then Carpathia ship came, but it had rescued 705 people. Then, but also many people died in ice water, and they spent there many times.
Before the
Carpathia ship came, but also the California ship was 10 kilometers away from Titanic, but they were close to the captain was close to see it, but they didn't realize the situation, and so also Titanic didn't send the source message.
No, the Californian ship never received Titanic's call.
Never received the Titanic call, and so when it came to the to the people, they almost 1,502 people died.
They had drowned.
Yes.
Yes, when the Californian ship came, all the remaining passengers had drowned. Yeah? Все оставшиеся пассажиры had drowned. Okay, so Layla, when and where did the Titanic sink?
Titanic had sunk.
Just sank?
No. Titanic sunk in 1912
Where?
on Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and how many passengers were there on the Titanic, Ayana?
On the Titanic were 2,207 passengers.
2,207 passengers. But how many lifeboats were there on the board, Aylan?
Titanic kept only 600 and
No.
Titanic kept only 1,178 lifeboats for 2,200.
For all passengers, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and how many people were able to get into the lifeboats, Layla?
650 people were able to get on the lifeboat.
Yes. Okay. Who arrived first to help the Titanic? Ayana.
The captain,
The Carpathian ship arrived.
arrived first.
How many passengers did this ship rescue?
The ship rescued 705 passengers.
Yes, 705 passengers. Okay. And what about Californian ship? How far was Californian ship away from Titanic?
The Californian ship was 10 kilometers away from Titanic.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And did the ship rescue passengers or not?
No.
No. Why?
Because the Carpathian ship didn't receive the call from Titanic, and when it came to the people, all people had already drowned.
Yes, they had already drowned. Yeah. Okay. So now, could you please ask each other some questions according to the text? So I give you just 1 minute to create your questions, please. Then we will ask each other. Yeah. You can write it down on your copybook. Just 1, 2 questions to ask each other. Okay, so have you written? Yeah. So Layla, ask a question, please.
To whom?
It doesn't matter. Let's ask Caroline.
How many people were saved by Carpathian ship?
Carpathian ship rescued 705 people.
That's right. Okay, one ask another question.
How many kilometers was Carpathian ship from the Titanic?
Carpathian ship was 58 kilometers away from Titanic.
Okay, great, very good. Aina, your question?
How many lifeboats were there?
1,178 lifeboats in Titanic.
Okay, okay. Do you have any questions, Layla?
I'm not sure about this question.
Okay, let's ask.
How many hours left after Titanic had just sank?
Yes.
It had left 4 hours.
Yes, it's sank 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg. Yeah. Okay, great. And one.
In what year Titanic had sunk?
That's
1912.
Give me full
In
answer.
1912, the Titanic sank.
Sank. Okay, great. So guys, the pronunciation, please be careful. Yeah, the Carpathia ship, not the Carpathian. Yes, the Carpathia ship. Okay, and could you please repeat the sentence, Layla? In 1912 Титаник утонул за 4 часа, как он после столкновения айсбергом. До его первом путешествии across Atlantic Ocean.
In 1911, Titanic sank after it had hit an iceberg after 4 hours.
No, 4 hours after.
4 hours after
It had
on
hit
its first trip.
Okay, look, guys, Titanic sank 4 hours after. 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, the Titanic sank 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. Okay. Also, it was the largest ship that had ever traveled on the sea. Yeah. Okay. How do you say? Так. Было достаточно спасательных шлюпок только для вот таким количеством пассажиров. We say it had taken on enough lifeboats. Yeah, it had taken on enough lifeboats for only 1,178 people. Okay? То есть они забрали достаточно спасательных шлюпок только для. Okay? Have you understood? Okay. So now listen to me again. Listen to the first part again. So in 1912, the Titanic sank 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. At that time, the Titanic was the largest ship that had ever traveled on the sea. It was carrying 2,207 passengers, but it had taken on enough lifeboats for only 1,178 people. And when the passengers were trying to leave the ship, only 650 people were able to get into the lifeboats. The Carpathia ship was 58 kilometers away from Titanic when the Titanic called on its radio for help. It arrived 2 hours after the great ship had sunk, but it saved 705 people. The Carpathia couldn't save all people. Unfortunately, uh, unfortunately 100 unfortunately 1178 people had lost their lives. The Californian ship was only 10 kilometers away from Titanic, and its officers were close enough to see the Titanic, but they didn't understand the situation. And the Californian ship never received the Titanic's call for help, and they didn't come to rescue passengers until too late. When the Californian ship came, all the remaining passengers had drowned. Okay, so is it clear? Yeah? Okay, now let's try to retell it. Yeah? Let's retell 4 marks. Who wants to start? Guys? Okay. Arlan, let's start with you. Then the girls will continue.
In 1912, the Titanic sunk 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg. Titanic was the largest ship that had ever traveled in a,
On
on the sea, yes, and it had sank on its first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. So it had taken enough lifeboats for 1,178 people, but when it started sinking, only 650 people rescued.
So 650 people were
able to sit on it. And also the Titanic, there were 2,207 people on it. Then the Carpathian ship was 58 kilometers away from the Titanic ship when this horrible accident happened. And the Titanic called the Carpathia ship for help on radio, and it came after 2 hours, and so Carpathian ship had rescued 705 people, but unfortunately 1,502 people died in the cold water. At this moment, also the California ship was 10 kilometers away from Titanic ship, the captain of the ship was closer to see Titanic. but they didn't understand the situation because the Titanic never because they didn't receive the um,
Titanic's call.
the Titanic call for help. And when Californian ship came to the horrible accident, all remaining people had sunk. Oh no, had drowned.
Had drowned. Okay, great, 11. Very good. Just there were some random mistakes like 100, 1,502 people had lost, had lost their lives, when the Carpathia ship came, Okay, very good. Next level, let's retell one more time.
Titanic. In 1912, Titanic sank 4 hours after it had hit an iceberg on its first trip. At that time, Titanic was the largest ship that had ever gone to the on this on the
Yes.
sea. Uh, the Titanic ship had 2,207 people on its board, but the Titanic ship had taken 1,178. I don't know. It had taken lifeboats enough to save 1,178 people. And when it hit an iceberg and the Titanic started to drown, only 650 people were able to get on the lifeboats, while others stayed in the water.
Okay.
The first, not the first.
The
Carpathian ship was 58 kilometers away from Titanic, and it came 2 hours later after Titanic called for its help. Carpathian ship couldn't save all people. It only saved 705 people, while 1,502 people had lost their lives.
Okay, thank you, Leila. Let's stop here and let's continue.
The another ship, the California ship, was 10 kilometers away from the Titanic ship, but they didn't understand
The
the
situation.
situation. They were close near
To see
the
that.
Titanic,
Okay.
but they never received
Titanic's call.
Titanic's call for help. So they didn't help them. But it came after 2 hours when all passengers already had
Had what?
drowned.
Dropped. Okay, had dropped. Okay, yes, when the Californian ship came, all the remaining passengers had drowned. Yeah? Okay. Okay. So let's make some notes now. I give you 1-2 minutes to make notes. Leila, you said it arrived 2 hours after it
No.
had sunk. Yeah, not drowned. Yeah, it had sunk. Okay, it's about Carpathia ship. Yeah. Okay, so let's make a conclusion for the numbers of passengers who were able to get into the lifeboats. How many passengers were able to get into the lifeboats?
650 people.
Yes, 650 passengers. And how many passengers lost their lives?
1,500 people and 502 people.
Yes, okay, very good. These numbers, yeah, there are a lot. Okay, so let's go on to the next part of our lesson. Let's discuss the ships. Yeah. You asked in the beginning why the Californian ship didn't help the Titanic. Yeah.
Because I remember they were celebrating, or they didn't even understand. Среднестно что-то случилось, no?
I'm
Or-
not sure. Have you ever heard this information? Just
Or
declare. Okay. So, have you ever heard that they were celebrating?
no, they were not celebrating. As I remember, кажется, радист, the person who was listening to
Radio.
Morse.
Yes.
Code Morse. He had
Radar
fallen,
system. Yeah.
yes, he had fallen asleep at the time when Titanic had started
To sing. Yeah.
sinking. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Он же ночью начал тонуть, поэтому
In English.
Oh my
So,
god! The Titanic started sinking at the midnight.
At
yes.
midnight, at
Yes.
night, yeah. So that's why they didn't even notice, yeah,
Mhm.
the call from the Titanic, yeah. Okay, great, yeah. Maybe. What other theories do you know about the Titanic disaster, Arlan?
No, serious.
Okay. Yes. Really, there are many theories. Yeah. Why the Titanic sank. Yeah. And who, for example, there were few lifeboats. Yeah. There were not enough lifeboats for all passengers. Yeah. And
Yes.
who do you think was responsible for this? Who was responsible for this strategy?
I think the company of Titanic ship.
Ship builders. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why
because-
were they responsible for this disaster?
Because they wanted to save more money when they were building this ship, large ship.
Yeah. Okay. And they, I think that they paid attention more to the designer more. Yeah, not safety of the ship. Yeah.
Not the design. They wanted to earn much money from this. You know,
Yeah.
2,207 people were on the board, and while the lifeboats were enough only for 1,178 people. It's like
like half.
half.
Yes, there were only enough lifeboats only for half of the passengers. Yeah. Okay. And I am not. How would you react if you were in the Titanic disaster? How would you react?
In Titanic disaster.
If you were in this disaster? Because the people, um, the people, the people were so. There was a house, yeah, like there was panic. People couldn't control their feelings, yeah, emotions, yeah, and they there was a panic, yeah, on the ship. How would you react in this if you were in such disaster? If you were in the Titanic disaster?
If I was there, if I was there with my parents, first I will found them and
I would find them.
found them
Find them.
and it would be around them.
Yes. Okay. What would you do, Layla, if you were in the Titanic disaster? What would you do? If
Probably
if
the,
you
the first one I would find my parents, and the second one we would go on the karma.
lifeboat, what?
Not
The ship
I don't get it. Okay, something to
Most корабле.
something
yeah.
that helps you to save, yeah?
как сказать, там же these rooms of this Titanic was внизу, как бы сказать.
Under the
Where-
was under the water.
And probably we would go upstairs. What you upstairs, yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Me and my mother, we wouldn't have a problem to get on a lifeboat, but our father would be because the lifeboats were supposed on that situation were supposed only for women, children, and that's all.
Yes.
Women, children.
Yeah, you're right. That first, women and children.
Yes.
Yeah.
And only
Had to-
after the men.
Yes. They had to get into the lifeboats, yeah, first, then other people, other remaining passengers, yeah. Okay, great, yeah. Arlan, why are people so interested in the Titanic disaster, even today, even nowadays?
Because I think that this situation was very famous in that time when it was 1912 years, because the
Yes.
large ship had sunk or had sunk, and many people died in this accident, and so I just think that it was very popular, and many like newspapers wrote about it.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because it was the largest ship, yeah, at
Yes.
that time. Okay, and there are many movies, books about the Titanic disaster, yeah, especially the Titanic movie, yeah, and this movie is so emotional, yeah, and why does this movie make everyone cry?
Because of the
Like, because of their
terrible history
terrible
of love.
of
yes, terrible history, yeah, that had ever been, yeah, at the time, and also the movie is about two lovers, yeah, about love of two people, yeah, on the ship. Okay, and the movie was full of like tragedy, sacrifice, love. Yeah. Okay. So, what can we learn from this tragedy? What can we learn from the Titanic um, accident?
Never go on cruise.
Never go on a cruise.
Relax on the land.
Okay, yes, I am not. What do you think about it? What can we learn from this terrible accident?
That every new ships must be
Ready? Yeah.
ready.
Must give special trainings. Yeah. Special training before they go on a cruise. Yeah. Okay. Uh, what uh, what can we also say about this disaster? What can we learn? But what about safety? How did the ship safety rules change? Well, how did it change after the Titanic
А,
attack?
там, если я не ошибаюсь, if I'm not wrong, they limit появился. The limit of the passengers is the first, and the amount of lifeboats on the ship, also something else was too. Что там еще было?
So new rules about the limits of passengers on the
Passengers
ship, yeah,
and the lifeboats.
and the
something like
lifeboats,
this.
of course, yeah. Okay, so we can say that the safety is more important than for ships, yeah, than luxury and speed. And if I'm not mistaken, the captain was going too fast in an area of iceberg. That's why, and also they
Они вроде
couldn't.
they were. It was too late to.
Yeah, it was too late to turn. Yeah, the
Yes.
ship because they didn't notice it on time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the safety is the most important. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the ship. Okay. So have you written some notes? Yeah. Your homework is to complete this text. Yeah. And that's it. To complete and to learn also. Okay, let's count your total points. Guys, may I use your calculator, please?
Wait.
Thank you. Final homework for today is 9.5. 11, 9.6. And 9.2. Okay, so homework for today and Layla is on the first place. Yeah? 11 times. Okay, so we will work with the text next lesson. Your homework is to complete it.
How many parts does it have?
2 more.
3?
Yes.
Okay.
This part was too long, yeah? Okay, so are there any questions? Okay, the lesson is over. Have a good weekend, everyone, and goodbye. See you on Tuesday. Yeah?